Welcome along to the Hong Kong Racing Show. Andrew Brown and Alex Evers with you as we count down the days now until IJC and HKIR. Alex, it's hard to believe. Our next show, we're going to be in Sha Tin and we will know who's won IJC.
Brownie, I can't believe the next race meet. I'll be there watching the races and betting on them live from Hong Kong. I head out Friday night. All the goodies from the mates at Cannon are in town, ready to go. The top of the line gear for the top of the line event, and I can't wait to get out there. And I'm gonna have an easy travel day out there Sunday or Friday night.
That's awesome. Okay, well, we're excited for you, and I won't be too far behind you. Nor will our special guest this week, who's also going to make his way from LAX to HKG, and that's Bill Nader, who's going to be joining us very shortly for a mini IJC preview. But before that, let's check in with some of the other things that are making news in the world of Hong Kong racing. And let's kick off with the current trainer standings in Hong Kong, which show Casper Founds closing the gap on Mark Newnham at the top of the leaderboard, thanks to a double at Happy Valley this week, which included a nice win by Perfect General under your boy Vincent Ho, Alex, who just seems to be finding some very solid Happy Valley form right at the right time.
Yeah, he's starting to hit on all strides at the right time of year for this IJC. And again, I'm so happy to see him back after 8 months off of some horrific falls there. Just the kid puts in so much work on his body and his brain to get everything right out there and the right mindset. 14 wins on the season from 120 rides. So 2 away from Bowman for second place. And if you had told me that he'd be sitting in second place, a couple months ago when he was kicking down at the bottom, not getting the rides, that would have been kind of hard to believe, but things happen fast in Hong Kong. And when you're winning races, you get opportunities, and that's what we love to see for our friends on there. And I saw Umbi and him with Kimberly at Happy Valley in a photo, which was also awesome to see. And we're getting ready for IJC and the whole trip, and it's going to be so much fun, and just can't wait to get out there.
That's right. And you've got your eye on a couple of horses for the 4-year-old series as well.
Yeah, we had the last race last week with Dazzling Fit going from barrier 14 with James McDonald. Looks like he's going to step up and trip easily to the 1600 when I look at his pedigree being by Ribchester, but he's had a couple of nice runs at 1400 meters. Beauty Bolt, also another one to keep an eye on. He just got nipped by a nose there on the line, but 2 horses to keep an eye out for. And, we'll never know who we'll see during that IJC and HKIR Sunday. You see a lot of good horses. A couple years ago, Galaxy Patch right after the Cup when Romantic Warrior won. So always good to keep an eye out for the lower class races. These horses are progressing up in ranking and class system, and we'll see what happens. That Classic Series always produces so many good horses. Romantic Warrior, Golden 60, Beauty Generation, just to name a few off the top of the head there from the last few seasons. So good to keep an eye on.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, it's nearly time to welcome in our special guest, Bill Nader, to talk a little IJC and HKIR. Before we do that, let's set the stage for what promises to be an exciting IJC at Happy Valley next Wednesday. Well, what a lineup of superstars it is for this year's IJC. And speaking of superstars, former Hong Kong Jockey Club executive Bill Nader joins us. Bill, what was your initial reaction, I guess, to the group of jockeys that were assembled for this year's IJC?
Well, absolutely spectacular, Andrew. I think it's like a who's who list. And without a doubt, this is going to be the best ever lineup. We had some good ones in my day there, but this one is hard to top. I mean, top to bottom, it's just so good. And the thing about the lineup this year is most of those jockeys have some familiarity with Happy Valley, which I think is great. So with the exception of maybe Rachel King, and maybe to a smaller extent, Christophe Lemaire. I don't think he's ridden over the course that much, but is Christophe Lemaire. So, I mean, top to bottom, it's just so good, and it's going to be very exciting.
Yeah, it sure is. So 4 races. The jockeys will be allocated their horses this coming Monday. How does the Jockey Club go about making this as fair as possible, Bill?
Well, it used to be a random draw, which was not ideal. So we changed it where the jockeys are given what I would call an A, B, C, and D ride. And you have to look at their weights to make sure that they can make the weights and ride the horses that they're assigned. So there's a program that does that. And that makes it a bit more fair. And look, it's Happy Valley. It's basically a 7-furlong turf course. The straight, or the stretch as we call it, is about 310 meters. So it's a tricky course to ride. But as I said earlier, most of these jockeys do have ridden the course. So the local jockeys, talking, we said local, Purton, Morera, Vincent Ho, Hugh Bowman, and Rispoli for that matter, they have a little bit of an edge, but not a great edge, because these other guys and gals experience riding that track, and the way the rides are doled out. Look, it's competitive. They all want to win this thing. It's there's some money on the line, but also prestige that goes with it. So it'll be a fascinating competition.
It absolutely will be. And one of the local jockeys looking to win IJC for the second time is Vincent Ho. He sealed his spot with his penultimate opportunity at Happy Valley a couple of weeks ago. Ended up riding a double, knocking out Jerry Chow for the homegrown spot. Nick Child, our man on the ground in Hong Kong, actually caught up with Vincent to talk about that and more.
Exciting to be a part of it, I'm sure. You had a bit of a protracted battle with some of your local colleagues there, but you came out on top. Well done, and exciting times.
No, thank you. I wasn't expecting this early this season. After 7 months of rehabs, and coming back wasn't easy. Took me a little time, and of course, always thanks to Mr. Founds, Mr. Francis Loy, and all that for believing in me to get me winners already on the first day back. And wasn't easy. Did a lot more work than before to get myself ready to race and to be able to ride winners. It's lovely for sure.
And of the competition for IJC, of course, you would have ridden against the likes of Umberto Rispoli, and Ryan's a possible as well, and always a great group of riders. It's a real good night in the calendar, isn't it, this one?
Yeah, I think this year lineup is one of the best. Many friends are coming to ride. Umbi, been away for a while. Christophe Lemaire even coming back now. Ryan Simsey get back in time. It's amazing. And Mikel, of course, he amazing jockey, just won the Japan Cup again. One of the best horses in the world. And coming here to ride with them, it's a privilege for sure.
Vincent with a big smile on his face then when Nick mentioned how he got into IJC this time. And as we were touching on earlier, Alex, he's riding well.
Yeah, and it's one of those things too, the way it was coming down to it with Ferraris and Chow, kind of holding those spots and getting usurped by the old veterans who both actually won this IJC. I was just looking at it. We got 6 former winners competing amongst the 12 spots. So half of them have won the IJC. And again, we get Ryan Moore coming back. He's had a couple winners in the UK on the all-weather surface last week. So riding into form, he looks like he's riding at 124 pounds. So it'll be interesting to see how the allocations work with that, with the lightweight horses or the higher weight horses, and how low these guys can get down to. And maybe Bill can talk to that a little bit more as far as how their weights account into getting these mounts with that system.
Well, the A, B, C, and D will take the weights into consideration in terms of the application, so that will come into play. And in the early days when I was first there, some of the jockeys that were coming in could not really ride light, and so that could throw the thing way out of whack. But now the way it's done, um, in terms of the A, B, C, and D, they can work that out. It's interesting with Vincent Ho because his affiliation with Golden 60, and then we have Hugh Bowman with his affiliation with Winx, these iconic horses. And, these jockeys, of course, Bowman, well known in Australia and certainly well known for his tremendous achievements in Hong Kong. But for Vincent Ho, this is great, to step up on a stage like that. And we also looked at it to find the right balance. How many Hong Kong-based jockeys would be part of it versus how many would be invited? And that what you spoke about earlier, that drama that comes up, trying to see who seals that last spot or those last two spots, they're really highly sought after, and it's quite good theater when it comes down to the the final ride. It's really sensational.
Yeah, and the way it worked out is like I was up at all hours of the night watching that Wednesday night meet, which for California is 2:40 in the morning until about 7 a.m. here. But it was exciting throughout the event with the Bowman and Ho, and we just kind of don't really have anything that you can compare that to here in the United States. I guess the Breeders' Cup with the foreign riders coming over, but there's no real official challenge or something to follow. And especially being on horses that are weighted and handicapped at equal weights, it really allows the jockeys to shine, especially at such a unique course as Happy Valley is, with the triangular shape, hairpin turn, undulations on the backside. I mean, and barrier being so important too. It makes it so multifaceted and exciting. And again, I love the way that they've done it with the local jockey being in there as well. I think it's great to inspire the younger generation of Hong Kong athletes who potentially want to get into horse racing and want to be jockeys, to have someone to inspire to be like, and it gives the fans something to root for as well. So well done by the club, and I can't wait to see who wins it this year. Vincent won it on Tomodachi Kakaro, who's been an upstart horse this season. Last time that was his win that sealed it for him. So you never know who you're going to see at IJC, jockeys and/or horses, for that matter.
I should make a great point about the draws. I mean, when you talk about the A, B, C, D, it doesn't really take into account what the barrier draw is. So that's another wrinkle into the handicapping and the full equation when you look at who you think once the rides are assigned as to who you think might have the best chance to win. The draws are important in Happy Valley, but it'll be on the B course. It's always on the B course, and it's very fair. But still, on a 7 furlong track, you don't want to be drawn wide on too many of your rides. So it'll be fascinating when you look at it and try to think about who. Every time I would try to guess like who I thought had the best chance. Most of the time I was way off. It's not that easy to do.
Does the Jockey Club put out a market? Like, are you able to bet on?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, they do. They do that every day. Every race day they have the Jockey Challenge. You
Right.
get 12 points for a win, 6 for a second, 4 for a third, and the betting continues after each race up to I think the 7th race in a 9-race card, and the odds will continue to change. But there will be a market, and so you can bet on who you think will win, not only the IJC, but the Jockey Challenge on any of the 88 race days.
Awesome. How much, Bill, do you think a certain friend of ours, Umberto Rispoli, would want to win this?
Well, he's a, like any of these 12 jockeys, they're incredibly competitive, but Umberto's going in there on a mission. He would love to win it. And I know he doesn't want to leave Hong Kong without a winner, that's for sure. But he certainly would like to win this. And why wouldn't he, right? How do you go into something like this not hoping to take it down? It doesn't mean you're the best jockey, but it does mean you're the best jockey on that night, and you do get the trophy and the whole ceremony in terms of how they hand over the trophy with the jockeys on the stage facing the stands, facing the crowd. It's pretty cool. And Umberto's seen it many times before, and I'm sure he'd like to be standing up there hoisting that trophy.
Yeah, absolutely. We wish him all the best. Well, there's plenty to look forward to next Wednesday at Happy Valley. Gents, before we look at some of the action at Sha Tin this coming weekend, do we have any early HKIR predictions that we want to share? I imagine we're all in the Kaiying Rising corner. Probably we're all in the Romantic Warrior camp, but maybe the Mile and the Vase. Any thoughts there, perhaps?
Well, I think Voyage Bubble is going to be tough to beat in the mile, and I think that means Hong Kong has a pretty good hand going in. Normally, when I work there, if I could draw it up on the blackboard just to give you guys an idea, I would like to see it be 2-2, two for Hong Kong and two for International. I always thought in my role, you wanted the foreign horses to believe they could come over and win in Hong Kong and really have a chance, so that would facilitate more participation in future years. So I kind of look for more of a balanced portfolio. But this year, wow, Kaiying Rising and Romantic Warrior have I wouldn't say a stranglehold, it may be a stranglehold, certainly on the sprint. That's fair to say, and on the cup, in the cup. In the mile, again, Voyage Bubble is the one that sticks out to me. I think he's just a really good horse. And in the Vase, I think Gia Bellotto, who won it last year, if you watch the video of that race, he was held up, and then when he got his chance, he was just much the best. And his run in the Arc, I thought, was creditable. So I think he's got a chance to come back and repeat in the Vase. So those would be the four for me.
The same four winners as last year.
Yeah, and it would mean the third straight year Japan would have gone home empty-handed if that's true. So,
Yeah.
quite,
Okay.
but yeah, this, I hadn't thought about that. But the same, how about that? That would be a heck of a pick there.
Yeah.
I believe he saw it with Champions Day a couple years ago when it was Sweynesse Golden 60 and Romantic Warrior both getting it back-to-back years, if my mind serves me correctly.
Yeah.
I kind of like, the more I'm looking at it and the more I went back and actually watched that mile, I kind of like My Wish, who sat close to the pace and kind of took up the brunt of the speed of that race and wasn't able to finish off his run quite as well as he probably would have liked. And just maybe a more tepid pace. And I would imagine he wasn't at 100% peak fitness for the lead up there. And coming into this one, maybe at 100%, he's going to be one I'm going to keep an eye on. And if you do like him, you're probably going to get a bit of a price, more so now that Voyage Bubble's in the race.
Yep. I'm a big Soul Rush fan, and I think he's going to be a big chance in the mile. You look at last year's replay, he was very wide around the turn and bumped into a couple of horses, still came home well to finish second behind Voyage Bubble. And we, of course, know that he beat Romantic Warrior earlier this year in Dubai. So I think Soul Rush could be a big chance in the mile this year. And in the Vase, I don't mind Al Riffa, the Joseph O'Brien trainee that ran seventh in the Melbourne Cup last out, Iris St Ledger winner. So there's a couple of that I'm interested in those other races, but we'll see how we go. But certainly I think Romantic Warrior wins the Cup, and Kaiying Rising will win the sprint and equal Golden 60s record, or feat, I should say, of 16 straight wins. And then it's on to Silent Witness's record of 17 straight wins. By all reports, David Hayes extremely happy with Kaiying Rising this week, who had his final fast work on the turf on Wednesday morning and is looking very good. But there we go, boys. Time to take a look, I think, now at the races at Sha Tin this weekend. The feature race is race 8 on the card. It's the Chatham Handicap, a Class 2 over the 1,200 metres on all-weather track. And number 1, Bottom Up Together, will be one of the main chances here. He's 1 for 1 over the track and trip. Does have a wide gate, though. He's out in gate 11. Capital Delight runs well fresh. Number 16, Dragon, good record over the track and distance. And 7, Talent's Ambition is an interesting runner on the quick backup. He gets back, so he'll be looking for some speed. Speed Map has Bottom Up Together making the lead ahead of Harvey and Blessed. And Call Me Glorious. Bill, we always like to get our visitors and special guests' thoughts first. Who do you like here?
How kind of you, Andrew. Thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
like. Look, I'm going to go a different way. You didn't mention this horse, but I'm going to go with number 3, Invincible Shield on top. I think it's his first time on the surface, but he's looked well in the mornings going over. And I always like to say this whenever for the viewers, when we say all-weather track in Hong Kong, believe me, that's dirt in America. So it's a dirt track, and just to make that very clear. But he's shown enough in the mornings, and I think big improvement in his last race. So those are good signs for me coming in, and I think he's probably ready to break through and get a win. Swift Ascend, who's in light. And encountered a bit of trouble last time out in his first race of the new season. I wouldn't overlook him. I think he's got a shot, and that's number 12, Swift Descend, and then Sing Dragon, who's look, on the surface, on the dirt, he's won 5 of 10 in Hong Kong, so you can't count him out. So for me, it's 3, 12, and 6, Invincible Shield, Swift Ascend, and Sing Dragon.
Yeah, Sing Dragon 4 from 8 over the track and trip as well. Like great stats there, isn't it? What about you, Alex?
Brownie, that's one way to keep me from talking a lot is let Bill go first and have him pick my horses there. But I do agree. Invincible Shield's one of those horses that I've been a big fan of since the Mafu Gilbert, who was Golden 60s groom, tipped me off that he'd come over there, and he's one that I should be following. Great run last time, just missed with a bit of a weight differential. And like Bill said, the trials that he's had, the last trial up on the dirt was when it was raining, and he didn't look like he handled the off track as well. But if you go back 2 trials before that, he trialed exceptionally well on the dirt, showed speed, didn't seem like it was that much of an issue. And 1200 is his kind of sweet spot. When Ryan Moore wrote him, he said the 14 he can get it, but it's just a bit outside of his scope. I like him as my top horse there in the race. Hopefully a bit better of a price there than Bottom Up Together, which he could get out in the lead and steal this one. And Sing Dragon was my horse in there for 3rd as well. Like Bill said, he's just done so well over the surface, 5 of 10. It's impressive. And those are the 3 that I'm going to end up with. And it'll be fun to see them run live in person.
Yeah, you'll be there for it. Amazing. So you arrive about 7 a.m. on Sunday morning and straight to Sha Tin, or hotel then Sha Tin?
Hotel then Sha Tin. Helps me get on the time difference schedule there for me. It's lovely. The best.
All right. You've got Alex arriving Sunday morning, me Monday night, Bill Tuesday morning. So it's a bang, bang, bang.
That's a trifecta.
The triple trio right there.
Triple trio. I love Invincible Shield as well in that race, but I will try and get him beat with Talent's Ambition. I do like the fact he's on the quick backup. And a little bit of pace in this race, right? He does get back and flies home late. So I think if the speed is on, watch for him. Talent's Ambition running on late. And Sing Dragon, I think we've got some similar numbers. I've got him in for 2nd. A horse for the course for sure, and Bottom Up Together as well. If I was going to play a first 4 best bets, gentlemen, do we have one?
Hey, before we go there, Colin Doyle's first ever win in Hong Kong. That horse is running in this race. Do you know who it is?
Harmony and Blessed?
That's it. Well done.
Well done, Alex. Straight to the top of the class for you.
Straight A student there. As long as it's horses, that's all. That's the only thing I'm studious with.
Before we wrap up, I'm going to leave you with the best bet. Race 5, number 3, Fit for Beauty. Looks progressive. Won over the track and trip last time out at just his 3rd career start. J-Mac was on then. He sticks solid, goes up 7 pounds, but looks to have plenty of potential. Either of you gents want to leave us with a best bet for the card?
I'm going to go with Invincible Shield because it's the only race I looked at.
Bill taking the words out of my mouth. Now it just depends. If I see something that I like at the track, I'll play something. I'm an odds guy, Brownie. I like to look at the odds and see what's going on the board and who's hot and who's not and who's moving well. And I try to take all the information into account live that you get at the track.
No, for sure. I can't wait actually to see some of the HKIR contenders as well. Someone like Al Riffer, for example, who I mentioned before, will be someone that I want to see there at Sha Tin in the lead up to the race, given that he was racing in Australia in early November, goes all the way back to Ireland, and then has to make his way to Hong Kong. So, yeah, for sure.
You just like saying the name. You love the name.
I do. I like saying the name as well.
Brownie, one morning you got to come out and see Kaiying Rising train. You got to get up at 5:30 or something and see him at 6 a.m. You just got to see it in person.
Man, I'll be there for sure. I think Tuesday morning might be his last bit of fast work, possibly.
Tuesday, or he went Monday last year because we kind of studied the schedules of the training. So you may miss it by a day, but we'll see. I'll let you know.
Well, I'll be out there bright and early on Tuesday morning anyway. I'll look out for you, or I'll see you on the bus. All right, well, that's about all we have time for this show. Don't forget to check out the Hong Kong Jockey Club website for all your free PPs, replays, expert picks and more. Also, Sky Racing World have a great resource for Hong Kong racing. Their Handicapper Corner, details on your screen right now. I would like to thank our very special guest, Mr. Bill Nader. Thank you, Bill.
look forward to seeing you guys in Hong Kong.
See you there, Billy.
Well, thank you, Alex, and we will see you next week on the Hong Kong Racing Show from Sha Tin. See you then.